Greetings, literature lovers. Today we are going to discuss few Caribbean writers, starting with Jamaica, which became a base of operations for privateers, including Captain Henry Morgan, operating from the main English settlement, Port Royal. In return, these privateers kept the other colonial powers from attacking the island. Following the destruction of Port Royal in the Great Earthquake of 1692, refugees settled across the bay in Kingston. By 1716, it had become the biggest town in Jamaica and was designated the capital city in 1872. Until slavery was abolished by Parliament in 1833, the island sugar plantations were highly dependent on slave labor based on Africans who initially were captured, kidnapped, and sold into slavery from peoples of West and Central Africa. By the 18th century, sugarcane became the most important export of the island. Adam Taylor's slaves had arrived in Jamaica via the Atlantic slave trade during early 17th century, the same period when the first enslaved Africans arrived in North America. By the early 19th century, people of African descent greatly outnumbered ethnic Europeans due to the harshness of the conditions. There were many racial tensions. Jamaica had one of the highest number of slave uprisings of any Caribbean island. After British Crown abolished slavery in 1834, the Jamaicans began working toward independence. As the island still had a strong agricultural economy, planters imported East Asians as indentured laborers for many years. Since independence in 1962, there have been political and economic disturbances as well as a number of strong political leaders. Carlton Lindsay Barrett, also known as Isogan, is a Jamaican poet, novelist, essayist, playwright, journalist, and photographer who lives in Nigeria, particularly during 1960s and 70s. Barrett was well known as an experimental and progressive essayist, his work being concerned with issues of black identity and dispossession, the African diaspora, and the survival of descendants of black Africans now dispersed around the world. In 1972, his theatrical College of Drama, Dance and Music, Science of a Slave Dream was the first major production to be staged at the Kekiri Centre in North London, performed by a Nigerian troupe under the direction of Pat Amandu Madi. It portrays the capture and enslavement of Africans, their transport across the Atlantic, and their suffering on American plantations. Barrett is in addition a poet whose early militant poems dealt with racial and emotional conflict and exile as evidenced in his collection. The Conflicting Eye, published under the pseudonym Isogen in 1973.